Welcome to Inside Gaming. I am Jack Patillo. I have a sinus infection, and this is the Weekend Roundup, the show where we recap the week's biggest video game news. So let's get right into it. Things are looking pretty grim for Ubisoft, according to a foreboding 3-page press release and financial report published on Wednesday. As of this week, the company has canceled 3 unannounced games, making a total of 7 scuttled projects in the last 6 months. Scuttled's a fancy way of saying canceled. They also announced plans to depreciate around 500 million euros of capitalized R&D and reduce their projected Q3 2022 to 2023 earnings due to the quote lower than expected performance of Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope and Just Dance 2023. Can't ever put your faith in Just Dance. Additionally, quote, Ubisoft is revising its full year targets with net bookings expected to be down more than 10% year on year versus a prior expectation of up more than 10%. Numbers! Hooray, percentages. To top it all off, Ubisoft announced that they are delaying Skull and Bones for what is believed to be the 6th time. The most recent release date was set for March 9th, but now it's been pushed again until sometime after April 1st. No joke there. The game was originally supposed to be DLC for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, released in 2013, but was converted to a full title and then revealed in 2017. After the bad news and corresponding financial report broke, Ubisoft's US listed stock immediately dove 10.6% to the lowest it's been in 7 years. Get those tendies. In the official press release, Yves Guillemot, Ubisoft's co-founder and chief executive officer, wrote, quote, "We are clearly disappointed by our recent performance. We are facing contrasted market dynamics as the industry continues to shift towards mega brands and everlasting live games in the context of worsening economic conditions affecting consumer spending." Lots of big words there. Despite the dour news and the tone of the press release, Guillemot seemingly remained positive, stating, quote, "Our back catalog remains very healthy, with notably robust activity on Rainbow Six Siege, great momentum for our Assassin's Creed games, and generally solid performance from our live games." He added, quote, "We expect our strategy to build long-lasting live games and transform our biggest brands into truly global phenomenon with multiple offerings across platforms and business models to ultimately generate significant value creation with strong top line and operating income growth over the coming years." A lot of corporate speak there, but basically expect Ubisoft to double down on their biggest IPs like Assassin's Creed and invest more into the live service games like Rainbow Six Siege, while also trying to figure out how to make their own version of Diablo Immortal. Mobile games are coming, y'all. Another executive at the company also seemed to be positive, but with more than a hint of hard times to come for employees. Frédéric Duguay, Ubisoft's chief financial officer, wrote in the press release, quote, "Our decisive reaction and our additional cost optimization measures should help us navigate the current challenging economic environment and ensure a leaner organization for the years to come." Corporate speak translation: more layoffs and cancellations are very likely on the way. Oof, rough. Part of Ubisoft's official strategy to correct course also explains their future success will be achieved through, quote, "targeted restructuring, divesting some non-core assets, and usual natural attrition." So yeah, not too hard to read between the lines there. People are gonna be let go pretty soon. Duguay did reiterate that between now and sometime in 2024, we will see the release of Assassin's Creed Mirage, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Skull and Bones, and other yet-to-be-announced premium games, including a large one, as well as promising free-to-play titles for some of our biggest brands. Yay! If you remember, Assassin's Creed Mirage was originally going to be Valhalla DLC, but is now a standalone game that is supposed to be a bit of a return to form by drawing inspiration from the original Assassin's Creed. Just don't make me do feathers again. There are also the Assassin's Creed Infinity projects, Red, Hex, and Invictus, but it sounds like they are still a ways off. As for the big unannounced title, that very likely isn't coming out this year either. The Skull and Bones delay did also come with an open beta announcement, but there isn't a date for that yet. Regardless, Ubisoft is going to need a whole lot more than that to bounce back from this past year. The last Assassin's Creed Valhalla ended so cool, such cool tiebacks to the first one. Just give me more of that. That's all I want. All right. Let's move on to our next story. A big Xbox showcase is happening this month. After a few teases, several rumors, and a recent report, it's been made official. The Xbox Developer Direct has been confirmed by Microsoft, and it will take place on January 25th at noon Pacific time, just as was reported by Windows Central's Jez Corden earlier this week. The official Xbox blog reads, quote, "Presented by the game creators themselves from studios including Arcane Austin, Mojang Studios, Turn 10 Studios, ZeniMax Online Studios. The Developer Direct Direct will focus on big features, extended gameplay showcases, and the latest info for Xbox games launching in the next few months, including The Elder Scrolls Online, Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, and Redfall. Unfortunately, Starfield will not be shown at this time. VP of Xbox Games Marketing Aaron Greenberg, who teased the event back in December, commented on the official announcement, tweeting, quote, "It's going to be a big year for us. It starts on January 25th as we take you inside our studios to see some of the games coming to Xbox PC Game Pass, also to dedicate the proper amount of time for a deep dive into Starfield. A standalone show is in the works." It's nice to get a big showcase on the calendar so early in the year with the promise of more on the way. Since PlayStation skipped theirs last year, it's likely we'll see a big showcase announcement from them soon as well. Hey, remember when Cyberpunk 2077 had a terrible launch and everyone got all mad? Remember? The current gen console versions were pretty busted, the last gen versions were pretty much unplayable, and even high-performing PCs weren't safe. Generally, the game felt unfinished and was plagued with tons of bugs. Things got so bad, Sony even delisted the game from the PlayStation Store for a couple months. Okay, well, you probably remember all of that, but did you remember that CD Projekt Red's investors got so pissed they actually sued the company? Yeah, they claimed CD Projekt made false or misleading statements and failed to disclose that Cyberpunk 2077 was such a mess, quote, "When the true details entered the market, investors suffered damages." That was way back in December of 2020. Wow, that was a while ago. Well, now the dust has settled, quite literally, and CD Projekt Red is set to settle their investors' lawsuit with $1.8 million. Apparently, the money will be used to pay, quote, class members, settlement and administration costs, taxes, attorney's fees and costs, and incentive rewards for the plaintiffs. You think it would have been more, huh? Hogwarts Legacy is a top 10 selling game on Steam right now, and it's not even out for another month. According to Steam's official chart for the top 100 selling games by revenue, Hogwarts Legacy was sitting around number 6 earlier this week, but by the time we started recording this video, it's already jumped to number 4. So close to podium. The only games ahead of it are Apex Legends and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. In other words, two popular live service games that are heavily supported by microtransactions. Those types of games also make up most of the top 10, except for One Piece Odyssey. Discourse surrounding Hogwarts Legacy has been a little tense lately, as there are many who don't want to see the games industry support J.K. Rowling financially in any way after she's become such a controversial figure. Yeah, she should have just taken her money and stayed in a tower. Others feel that the hundreds of developers who worked on the game don't deserve to be denied recognition or sales since Rowling wasn't directly involved with the project. She will very likely catch the residuals though. Yeah, that's part of the game. Gotta make your decisions. Popular video game YouTuber Dunkey announced last year he would be starting his own big game publishing arm called Big Mode. Well, Big Mode announced their first game this week, and it's Animal Well. You may have heard of the game before since it was revealed early last year, appeared at Day of the Devs last summer, and has had a handful of game sites preview it. IGN called the game a, quote, delightfully unconventional take on a puzzle platformer that flips the traditional Metroidvania on its head. The official Big Mode website describes Animal Well as a, quote, pixelated wonder rendered in intricate audio and visual detail. The description continues, quote, encounter lively creatures small and large, helpful and ominous as you discover unconventional upgrades and unravel the well's secrets. This is a truly unique experience that can make you laugh in fear, surprise, or delight. One of those three, only those three. Dunkey did receive some criticism from industry veterans and a ton of subtweets due to the tone of his Big Mode announcement video, but it seems like things are coming together just fine. Animal Well is being solo developed by Billy Basso and already had managed to turn a few heads, but now with Dunkey's support, the game has a surefire shot at reaching a much, much larger audience. And at the end of the day, that's actually what a publisher is supposed to do. All right, let's take a look at some of y'all's comments from some of the previous episodes. Last week, we talked about how it's very likely that plans for Switch Pro have been canceled, but a Switch 2 is in the works. Unfortunately, we probably won't see it until next year. That's 2024. We also talked about how Nintendo doesn't want a repeat of the transition from the Wii to the Wii U. Well, a lot of people had suggestions, including Raxon, was it 16XVI? Yeah, 16, who said, Nintendo doesn't have to worry if they just listen. All they have to do is keep up the concept of the hybrid, up the specs, have it fully backwards compatible, and have 1 or 2 killer launch titles that would yield the best results, but please do not do the Nintendo thing and try to reinvent the wheel. Nintendo's done that thing where they've made these giant leaps, and maybe it's not time to do that again. Maybe just take it simple. Just iterate a little bit more. No significant launches. Maybe I agree with Rox on there. All right, it's time to talk about all the games coming out this week. Gigantosaurus Dino Kart. Race around Cretaceous as your favorite dino and a prehistoric kart championship almost as big as Gigantosaurus's appetite. Gigantosaurus Dino Kart hits the PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on January 17th. Definitely not fried chicken is a management sim with a twist. Grow drugs, what? Grow drugs and trade through legitimate fronts. Acquire new clientele. Develop more potent narcotics. Make lots of money, and leave a city in ruin. Perfect for the grandkids. Definitely Not Fried Chicken hits the PC on January 18th. A Space for the Unbound is a slice-of-life adventure game set in late 90s rural Indonesia that tells a story about overcoming anxiety, depression, and the relationship between a boy and a girl with supernatural powers. A Space for the Unbound hits the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on January 19th. Colossal Cave is a reimagining of the celebrated text adventure by Will Crowther and Don Woods. Acclaimed game designer Roberta Williams brings you her vision of the game that inspired her to create her own legendary games. Colossal Cave comes to the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, Switch, and nothing else on January 19th. Experience the iconic, critically acclaimed RPG that reinvented the Persona series. Persona 3 Portable, now newly remastered for modern platforms. Persona 3 Portable comes to the PC, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on January 19th. Persona 4 Golden is also coming to modern consoles. Experience a coming-of-age story that sets the protagonist and his friends on a journey kickstarted by a chain of serial murders. Persona 4 Golden hits the Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on January 19th. Pocket Card Jockey. Hey, those pocket jockeys. Ride on! Saddle up for this unique solitaire and horse racing hybrid. That's what I had in mind. Originally released on the Nintendo 3DS, but now with racing segments reborn in glorious 3D. Pocket Card Jockey Ride On comes to iOS on January 20th. In Monster Hunter Rise, you'll become a hunter, explore brand new maps, use a variety of weapons to take down fearsome monsters as part of an all-new storyline. Monster Hunter Rise comes to the PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One on January 20th. And lastly, Fire Emblem Engage. The Fell Dragon is about to reawaken, and only a united realm can stop it. Summon valiant heroes like Marth and Celica with the power of Emblem Rings, and add their power to yours in this brand new Fire Emblem story. Fire Emblem Engage comes to the Switch on January 20th. And that's gonna do it for the roundup this week. Then thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate you guys. I apologize for my voice right now. I did a lot of running this past week and absolutely wrecked my body and throat. So hopefully next time I sound a little bit better. So love y'all. See you next time. Bye.